See, what else do we have? Oh, okay. So we're talking about individual scrolls a little bit now. What do you guys think about the new scrolls? Eclipse, Frozen Blood, Piercing Projectile, and Pact with the Ancestors.
Oh man, let me go first on that. Um, all right. So Eclipse is the one where it turns all of your probably your current resources into decay, correct?
Yeah, but only for the
Yeah,
turn.
only for the turn. I mean, that's just screaming to be broken. That's just screaming to go in some kind of deck and turn into a Necrogeddon. That's all you're really. I don't know. There may be something else more, but that's just screaming, dropping Watcher and Necrogeddon in one turn and just blowing crap up. I mean, if you literally have it in a growth, obviously we haven't tested any of this yet, but if you're playing a standard growth now and you've got freaking, wolves all over the place and rats and owls and thing, all of a sudden Watcher Necrogeddon, they're they're dead. Like there's just nothing to it. Like they are dead, and you're talking what, turn 12, turn 15 maybe.
Well,
I don't
that's
know, what do y'all think about Eclipse? Let's do one at a time, I guess.
Crabbit. Let's hear from you first, since you're in the upper left of my screen.
Well, I think it pretty much be a game changer, as you already said. Like, if you're running a kind of swarming kind of deck, and you already have the field, your board already set up, all you really have to do is drop an Eclipse and then drop a Necrogeddon, and you're pretty much won the game.
Okay. Anival, what about you?
I agree with what we said before by Spiffy, but I think the score could work, but they need to increase the cost dramatically. Now, it's just now right now just one cost. You can just splash it in your deck, and also just put a few Necrogannons in it, in a entire like growth deck with Spiffy at, and just auto win the game. So I think it could work, but the cost needs to be risen. Now, at least three, I think, 3 DK.
Okay. And Pew Pew, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with what has been said before. What I thought of when I first saw the scroll is you could maybe do some really cool deck where you take the early game of one faction and then take the late game from Decay. So you basically switch colors mid game, but it's with the scrolls available right now, it doesn't seem worth it because Decay doesn't have like a super late game, but it has strong early game already, so it wouldn't make sense to mix that. But with more scrolls added, one could maybe do stuff like that with it. But yeah, so the common use will just be with Necrogeddon right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it being pretty narrow right now. I mean, there's no telling what's coming up next. But
Okay.
yeah, to answer Glitch King, it does sound like a Hail Mary. Like you win it or you don't. But chances are you're gonna win it.
Here's a question. What do you guys think about possibly putting it in a Metasymbiosis deck, a growth order draw that deals with Sisters of the Owl and Metasymbiosis, where your board is literally filled with owls, and then instead of running Necrogeddon, you run Monstrous Brood.
Uh, that'll
Because
have to be something to turn into a god draw with that. And like Devere said, are you going to give up 6 slots for that?
well,
You
what
know,
Yeah, and
with a draw deck, it wouldn't have to be six; it'd only have to be four.
yeah,
I
that's
mean
true.
Necro would still be better because the problem with Monsprout is those guys don't instantly attack. So yeah, I mean, and
Well,
then you're sitting there with all decay resources, all your monsters spoot out, and then he quakes or something. Yeah, you're just done.
Well, they'd
Yeah,
have to double quake in order to kill them all because Monstrous Brood, if it's not touching another one, is a 5/4. That's kind of hard to kill. And then
I
next
mean,
turn you God Hand, and then you've got seven. You've got
Yeah, but
seven
okay,
attack down your entire line.
yeah, but if you do it with Eclipse, you can't God Hand anymore because you have all decay resources.
Not in the same not in the same turn, but the turn after you can God Hand.
if they survive, I mean, you also have to weather one attack.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
here, yeah.
I think it will be extremely
Oh,
funny, but
did I-
not really viable. I think.
it's a very it's a very Timmy card. It's a very power gamer card. You're gonna see a whole lot of new players playing that, and it's gonna be dangerous. It's gonna be one of those things that all of a sudden you're waiting 10 minutes in a ranking queue, and then, oh look, I have a game. You're playing against some 1400, some 1600, and then turn 8 or 9, he like, oh, bang, Eclipse, Necrogeddon, Watcher, you're dead, and you're just like, I just lost 50 points. What the hell? I can see that happening a lot, which is good for the game, because that new guy who's trying to climb up that rank, he's like, oh my god, I just took out random person in the top 20. Oh, that's awesome. So I don't know. Let's go to the next scroll. Yeah.
Okay. The next scroll on the list is Frozen Blood, which
Oh,
is
that's the call it out. What does it do?
1 second. Frozen Blood, I believe, costs. Well,
It's a
an order
3,
scroll,
and
I'm looking it up real quick here.
yeah, it's a 3 cost, and it increases the base countdown of the target you put it on.
Yeah, it increases it by 2. It's 3 order, and it increases target units. Is it unit or creature?
Unit. So
Yeah,
you can put it on
target
the Watcher
units
as well.
count. Yeah, target units count down by 3. So I don't know. It's good. Is it worth 3? No. They said they'll probably drop it down to 2. So basically 2, and it's a soft removal. I don't know. All right. Well, we got 2 of the best order players here. Out of all, do you think that you will be playing that in the late game order deck if it costs 2 order?
No, I don't, because it's the base countdown, so it wouldn't affect the countdown it's right now. It will be handy in like 2 or 3 rounds after the guy attacked already. So no, not for me.
Crabbit, what you think, dude?
I probably wouldn't run it, but if anybody ever got the idea to, I think it'd be pretty funny to have a Great Wolf at like 4 countdown by the end of its attack, and
Yeah.
with the Horn of Ages, it's just gonna be stuck there.
Yeah. So
I don't know how to pronounce this. Shatafens, or I have
Staufens.
Staufens. Okay, yeah. You see, I'm not good with the pronunciations here. Staufens said it should also increase the CD when you play it. Would you play that if at the cost that it is, at 3 instead of 2, if it increased the countdown when you play it?
There's no way in wording right now in scrolls that is possible. It either increases the permanent or the temporary. So
Yeah.
there's no way that's worded into the game yet. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like Isaac said, if it had a cantrip, if it drew a scroll, yeah, that's awesome. But I don't know. I think that where it's gonna shine is with new players, and it's also very, very good in Judgment. Very good in Judgment. That is nasty in Judgment.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So yeah, so that's basically what that is. It's not gonna really see high rank play unless it gets a cantrip or something.
So move. Does anyone else have any additional thoughts to add to Frozen Blood?
Yeah, as
it's-
Bed you said, yeah, Godhand, Speed, Bombard, Rally. I mean, it's pretty moot. Like whatever. You know?
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, so I agree. It's just for me, it's actually totally useless scroll. I mean, who are you gonna put it on? Are you gonna put it on a small unit, and it's just a waste of scroll? And are you gonna put it on a huge unit, and there are threats anyway? I mean, you're
Well,
gonna put it on an honorable general or on a wings captain. You still can't leave him on the board because he can haste him. He can still haste him in 1 turn or in 2 turns later, whatever. Yeah.
Well,
Or you put
coming from
on
the
a
perspective
harvest.
of an energy player, it seems like it'd be a real pain in the butt for me, because if someone stuck that on my Aether Pump, I'd hate them for the rest of my life.
All I hear is coming from an energy player. Blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
All right, so
Speaking of energy, let's talk about that piercing thing.
yeah, piercing projectile. So the question I have is, we've heard people talk about
Call it out.
different
Tell-
possible combos, but
Call out the scroll. Tell us what it does.
okay, so piercing projectile is an enchantment for 2 energy, and it says enchanted ranged creature gains piercing. Its attack is increased by 1. So the question I have is how would piercing work if you stacked it? So if you stuck it on Canonetta, would it deal its full damage to everyone behind it?
That's a good question.
I've seen
I
people
don't
talk
know.
about combos with non-already piercing creatures, but not about possibly stacking it.
I don't know.
I think stacking should not work at all. It's just, I mean, you either have piercing or you don't, like Relentless. So
But you can stack
Yeah.
poison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can stack poison, and that just gets ridiculous, as we all know. I don't know. I don't see why you should be able to stack it. Just thinking from my experience playing Magic and doing Pro Tours and Magic, I don't see it stacking. That's basically like stacking on like First Strike. Like it just doesn't. It's not mechanically viable. It's way too overpowered. Way
Yeah.
too overpowered.
Double piercing
Yeah,
would be.
it's very
Crazy.
binary.
I don't know. I think if I manage to get a card out there with a decent enough attack, like let's say I threw down Canonetta with Machinated and I threw piercing projectile on it, I think I should be able to deal 7 damage to absolutely everything in the line. If I could
So-
actually get that out against you, then I think you deserve to take that to the face.
So
Personally.
you know, with all this said, will it see play? Will it make energy better? I guess that's the question. KC, you want to start off?
Sorry, what was the question again? I'm sorry, I kind of blanked out. for a minute.
Will piercing projectile see play? Will it actually make energy better? Is it something that you would put in an energy deck?
Oh, to me, it depends on what kind of energy deck you're playing. Lately, I've been seeing structure energy, so I wouldn't really see how this would help. But if somebody wanted to make a Gravelock variant and add in what's his name? The cannon guy. I can't think
Cannon
of his name.
Automaton.
Yeah, Cannon Automaton. Um, if they would add him, I guess it would make it worthwhile, in my opinion. But I still don't really see it being played with the current energy that's being played in today's meta.
All right, Anaval.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really an energy player at all. I know the other 3 factions quite well, but energy, not too sure. I just would love to use this scroll in my energy decay deck I've been trying out. It's for the current meta, that deck is way too late game focus, and you just get rust into pieces. But I would love it to put it on a witch doctor or something. That would be nice. But for
Oh,
the rest,
that
I
would be
really don't
fantastic.
know.
Oh yeah, that is a good idea.
I
But
can
yeah,
imagine
that's-
that being fun. For the rest, I really don't know.
That's actually really disgusting. But you're right. It's probably way too late. Pew.
Yeah, I also want to add that I'm not really an energy player as well, but I don't think I don't think it will change energy at all, because you already have the scroll for Relentless and for melee, and you have the Solemn Giant, which is basically the perfect target, but for that, but you still really can't run it because it's just too situational and the waste of space. I mean, who are you really gonna put it on? It's just the 6-drop gun automaton and maybe the Gravelock Elder, but I don't know. It just doesn't really do anything.
Well,
I find.
considering you can drop machinated on anyone, and if you're running energy, you've definitely got 4 energy in 1 turn. If you drop this and machinated, that's +6 attack and piercing to any unit.
Yeah, but then you got 2 enchantments on 1 unit again, and So it's
Yeah.
basically big combo, and you take out the row at best, and you need the unit to be attacking too.